cause we're gonna hit you with them stone cold facts and allow me to be the very first to welcome you to the masters of the Nerdiverse. Welcome to the Nerdiverse. Go ahead, sit and listen to the masters, the old heads, talk about what you love the most. Video games, comics, movies, and everything you need to maintain your week. Got the knowledge that's straight out the ether. Gonna need a drink and have to take a seat to expand your mind and listen to the speaker. Mike and the squad's gonna give you what you need. Please send in a question, come and get some answers, learn a couple lessons from the masters with the special guests. We got the Green Lanterns glowing on their chest. Yes, please sit back and relax, cause we're gonna hit you with them stone cold facts and allow me to be the very first to welcome you to the masters of the Nerdiverse. Hey, Nerdiverse, 'tis I, 'tis Toots, here for a brand new installment of MOTN Figured It Out. We're your friendly neighborhood collector, Mike G, gets to talk about his favorite things in the absolute world, which is figure collecting. Maybe 1/6 scale, 1/12 scale, 1:1. You don't know. I may have a Hulkbuster in the backyard. This is one of my favorite parts of the weekend, where I get to just chill with you guys, maybe directly or indirectly, maybe live or in the future through Twitch or through YouTube. This is a live episode, so if you please feel free to ask me any questions about this beautiful thing called 1/6 scale collecting. Questions about myself, questions about the channel, Masters of the Nerdiverse podcast, MOTN Live Fridays, 6 p.m. Figured It Out Saturdays, 8 p.m. We have a pretty packed episode here, nicely labeled episode 10, Obi-Wan the Third. As a mix of just a couple of things we're going to be talking about tonight. We have a couple of releases. We have a few surprising announcements, as well as some talking pieces. So we have a nice chunky episode for us all to chew on. For those listening, please let me know how I sound. Is there any stutter? Do I sound crazy? Is it all robotic? Let me know. I'd like to know how things sound out there in radio land. Really excited for tonight, but always, like I said, this is a live show, so we just chilling. I'm gonna kind of just chew on this content, mostly talk to you, mostly talk to myself, but what else is new? I'm an only child. So let's go ahead and get the show on the proverbial road. Thank you for waving your hand in there, Toots. Everything sounds fine, good. I hope you're having a good night at Inglorious Nippon in Japan. You know what I'm saying? Pick me up a 1/6 scale. If they have any up there, I will reimburse you with hugs and chocolates, and a mix of hugs and chocolates. Let's talk some figures, shall we? Let's talk some releases. Let's talk some announcements. Like the big announcement this week in the 1/6 scale community was a long-awaited one. People have been waiting for Space Jesus for quite some time. And this is the Attack of the Clones Jedi Master Obi-Wan Kenobi Artisan Edition. Top of the tippity top of the line when it comes to Hot Toys figures. As you can see, this guy has full wool implemented hair, nice and luxurious, comes with all of the Jedi accoutrement, and has a striking resemblance to the man named Ewan McGregor. My first initial thoughts for this figure is, this is great. There's been whispers of a artisan Obi-Wan floating around. Anime Expo July, we in there. Oh yeah, what Denzel say? I'm coming home with something. I don't care what it is. I'm coming home with something. There's got to be at least one 1/6 scale in Anime Expo. MOTN will be in there with glasses on. The Obi-Wan mullet, the goated one. what you know about that luxuriousness. Look at the sheen. But yeah, like if they were going to do a 1/6, if they're going to do a artisan version of Obi-Wan, this is the smart play, right? Because for the most part, he has short hair. He has short hair as a Padawan, and he has short hair, I believe, in Revenge of the Sith. And even his hair in the Obi-Wan TV show isn't as long as this. This is the Clone Wars era Obi-Wan. So yeah, this is the one that's going to get the artisan. And you may ask yourself, well, what's the difference between a normal Hot Toy and an artisan? And truthfully, I don't think Hot Toys knows what that difference is. It seems to be the hair implementation, but with that usually comes a stiff upcharge. Usually artisan figures are a good 2 bills more than your average sculpted hair figure. And the good thing about this guy is that he comes with both options. Our photos just happen to be of the artisan edition, but there is a standard edition, or deluxe, that comes with sculpted hair. And we'll talk about more as we get into the figure. But my first impressions is, yeah, why not? I mean, there's so many different Star Wars figures out there, and Obi-Wan is almost the second most important character in the series outside of Anakin. You know, those guys usually are fighting for the top rung. Really, it's not a fight. Star Wars is about Anakin Skywalker, but Obi-Wan is such a pivotal character that he should have more figures. He should have more representation from all versions of the journey. So I think this is a very interesting choice right now for Hot Toys, as well as a important one. So let's go ahead and just keep the dice rolling here. So as you can see, he comes with, you know, separate rolling eyes, which is the common for 1/6 scale figures nowadays. He comes with his Jedi robe. If I was to get this guy, I need the robe on. I know he has fighting, you know, fighting action poses and all that, but there's just something about the Jedi robe that kind of gets me going. I like all my Jedis in their robes. If I can get one. I don't have a Jedi yet. Fingers and toes, I get the one I want. But he also comes with that iconic scene where he's flying through, I think it's the refinery, holding the droid and flying through the air and swinging, which is pretty neat. I don't think he comes with a lot, this guy. Well, we're jumping the shark there. Let's go a little bit back. Here we are. Let's look at the accessories on the far left for a second. Of course, comes with a light up lightsaber, which is fine. Doesn't come with a lot, this guy, but I guess that's okay. He doesn't need to come with a lot, I guess, as a Jedi Master. They travel light. He also comes with these cool, like, and they're on this shot here. They come with these cool, like, splashing effects that come onto the lightsaber, which they don't do with every figure, which I think is neat. And just overall, the sculpt itself is a little... They just can't get... Ewan McGregor's one of those faces they just can't get right. It's super weird. They could just never get the boy right. But I think it's pretty darn close to that era Ewan McGregor. So I like everything about this. I think this is a good fit for a lot of people's collection. I think that they did a really good job in the tailoring. And I believe that if you already have Attack of the Clones, Anakin, young Padawan Anakin, that's the perfect duo. And for anybody who's been following, figured it out. You know, I'm a big stickler for pairing. What this character go with? This guy can go with a lot of things. He can go with the General. I don't think he can go with the General Grievous. But technically, if you want to play Clone Wars games, you can. But he can definitely go with the Dooku. He can go with an Obi. He can go with a Yoda. Definitely can go with that Anakin. And there is the Clone Wars Padme that came out this year, or last year, I believe. So yeah, he can pair with a bunch of stuff. Star Wars, right? So I think this guy would be a fine fit if you're looking for a Obi-Wan and you're looking for a Attack of the Clones, which is not everyone's favorite episode in the prequels, but some people love it. That's some people's Star Wars, you know. Depends on when you grew up, you know what I'm saying? But with this guy, I think I should ask the immortal question, would I buy this? I think that's what I recommended. I think recommending is a non-starter. Yes, of course I recommend it. I think this is a fine addition. This is a fine Obi-Wan, kind of in his not in his prime, but he's a Jedi Master here, so you can't really fake the fun. But would I get this? I don't know. I'm really torn on this one because I have an Obi-Wan. I'm really happy with my Obi-Wan from the series. Kind of like final form Obi-Wan before he goes into old man Ben Kenobi. You know what I'm saying? So I'm happy with my Obi-Wan. But would I get this? It's kind of like, would I get this in Anakin? That's the question. Would I get this? He doesn't have the floating rocks like mine do. Gotta have the floating rocks. You know what I'm saying? It's an absolute must. Toots knows. She understands. She sees the vision. So like, but he does have the floating droid, which is cool. You know what I mean? Obi-Wan has to have something floating. He's gonna float with something. But with that being said, I would get this. Obi-Wan is my favorite Jedi, and that's just my personal preference. Outside of Anakin, outside of Mace, outside of Yoda, even outside of Cal, you know, Obi-Wan's my boy. I think he's the perfect emulation of a Jedi other than Qui-Gon. And Obi-Wan's my favorite. So I could have multiple Obi-Wan Kenobis and be happy. I kind of want all generations. I wish they would come out with the Phantom Menace Padawan Obi-Wan. They don't have that yet. And it's so weird because he's such an important character. You would think they'd have all versions of him by now. Like they have so many versions of Anakin and so many versions of Vader. We'll get to Vader. But there's still a bunch of low-hanging fruit for this character in 1/6 scale. So I wouldn't get him right now because I have an Obi-Wan and I'm quite happy with it. But if I was to go down the Attack of the Clones line, if they were to do a Dooku 2.0, I may want a Dooku, Anakin, Obi-Wan 3-piece in a biscuit on my shelf. I think that would be a cool story to tell, and I think that would be a worth find. So I highly recommend this one. This artisan is already sold out. I was in line for it on Sideshow just to see if I could get it, because I was curious, because these things usually go like that, they go quick. And I could have gotten it, but then I had to ask myself, mind you, these artisans are like $500 US. They're expensive. And I was just sitting here like, no, I don't need that. I'm not going to save up for that. I already have an Obi-Wan. I'm happy. I had to let it go. Let the next man get it. So if you're looking for this, there's ways to get it. Even now, there's always ways to get it, especially since it hasn't released yet. There's happy hunting and buy what you love what you buy. I'll say that. Cool beans. I think we can move on from this guy, and move on to our next topic of discussion. Perfect. We had a release this week, which is the Batman vs. Superman, Ben Affleck, Batfleck as they call him, 2.0. Hot Toys have been doing a lot of 2.0s lately. This is the newest one. This is one based on the film, the Snyderverse, as it were. And this is the new and improved figure. First initial thoughts, first initial feelings. I'm all for 2.0s. I love the idea of a 2.0 because there's a lot of people like me who are new to the hobby and weren't around to get this guy when he first was announced. Unreal, right? Looks good. He looks really good. We'll talk more about that in the next slide, just how good, how solid this looks. They updated the head sculpt, which looks really nice. I think they updated some of the proportions, and it comes with a brand new diorama. So you're getting your money's worth on this guy. I, for one, just on a figure standpoint, thinks this looks great. I think this looks really good. I think they did a really good job tightening things up, and I think that's one thing that's a plus for these 2.0s, is that it gives Hot Toys a chance to use their refined techniques and refined technology on characters that people really love and adore. And there's a whole Snyderverse universe of fans that adore this version of Batman. So for them to have another shot at him, more power to him. You know what I mean? Let's go forward with this look at this character. So This guy comes with, one cool thing about Batman figures is that they always come with the kitchen. They come with everything in the kitchen sink. So he has his batarangs, he has his grappling hooks, he has all of his extras that Batman comes with. He comes with 3 different lower face plates, one kind of stoic, one angry, one inquisitive. Surprised? Shouts out Toots. It shows his diorama base that he could have. I want to talk about that, Toots. It comes with his diorama base that he can hang from like a perch, and it comes with the refined body structure and flexibility for the figure. I think I'm if you follow our channel, you know I'm not a fan of the Snyderverse at all. I can't stand it. I think the Snyderverse wasn't really meant for me, and it didn't really fit what I wanted my Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman to live in. That being said, I think the most impressive thing that come out of the Snyderverse was Ben's Batman. I think there was a lot of promise there, and to the point where I actually like his Batman. I wish he got his own film. I wish he got his own leeway to be Batman and really sink his teeth into that role, but he got burned with everybody else attached to the Snyderverse, I would say, train. It's really a shame because Ben really gave it the old college try, Ben Affleck, and he's really burned from it and jaded from it. So we're never going to see this Batman again, sadly. And I think there was a lot of promise there. I love the suit based off of the Dark Knight. I love Ben as a big imposing character. He has the chin for it. Yep, they got super burned, and it's a shame. And truthfully, and let's just get right to the nitty gritty. Would I buy this, right? What's my recommendation for this guy? It's a double-edged sword because I got 2 Batman. I have my Michael Keaton, which is my GOAT, which is the one I grew up with, the crowning jewel of my collection. And I have the Pattinson Batman, which is arguably one of the best Hot Toys ever made. And I'm always toyed with the idea of getting a third Batman, but which one would it be, right? Would it be Adam West? Would it be Christian Bale? I don't know. I haven't decided that yet. But honestly, Ben Affleck, this Batman in this suit, not any other suit, not any of the Flash stuff, not any of the armored version. This one, the comic book accurate gray suit, is high up there. I would super get this suit in this look. But there's a fly in the ointment for this figure, and that fly is called InArt, InArt Studios. And InArt has the license for the Justice League Batman v Superman stuff. And they've already have a Superman out, which is goated. It's the best Cavill Superman ever. You've seen that thing? It looks amazing. And they're saying they're making this Batman, and they're making a Wonder Woman. And that sucks because bigger, more Batman. And it sucks because it kind of leaves you in the lurch. Are you so, I would say, loyal to Hot Toys that you're not even going to think about a superior figure that may cost a bit more? Are you going to wait out InArt and get that Batman? See, there's a couple of things that are pluses and minuses on both of that. Where for Hot Toys, this is out. You can get this right now. This could be part of your collection if you really wanted to go the third-party route and just get it. It's going to cost you a little bit of money, but you can just get it with tariffs and all that. It's a whole thing. The InArt figure won't be out for years. And when it comes out, it's going to be scarce because that's just the way they roll. So it's really about when do you want it and how bad do you want it. If you're a giant Ben Affleck fan, you're a giant this Batman fan, I go with the Hot Toys because this is now and it looks good. Will the InArt figure look better? There's a high chance. InArt's killing it right now. So, but do you want to wait 2 years to get it? Do you want to wait 2 years and spend probably extra $100 on this figure, on a figure of this representation of this Batman? I don't know. What do you want to do? Collect what you love what you collect. I personally would get this figure here because it's right now, it looks great, and I honestly like this version of Batman. I like this suit. I like Ben's portrayal. I like that this is a 2.0. I like that the cape is wired. I like the diorama. I like everything about it. But is this the third Batman to be my third Batman? It's a tough question because I'm torn, right? Like I want a Christian Bale, kinda. I want a Adam West, kinda. And I want this kinda. So I don't know, man. It's like, if this fell in my lap, I'd probably get it. At my missile silo that I pick up my figures from, I won't even shout them out because I don't want to go up there and what I want is gone. So sadly, I have to gatekeep that. But and it'll dox me as well. But yes, I would get this. I think I would get this. It looks good. It would be my third Batman, and honestly, it's my favorite part of the Snyderverse. Is his portrayal as Batman. So yeah, I would highly recommend this one if this is your cup of tea, because it's just an overall solid looking figure. And if you want to go the custom cape route, there's a lot of custom cape makers. I got 2 custom capes back there. I swear by them. They just activate the figure too to tell you my Darth Vader is elevated by his custom cape. My Michael Keaton is elevated by his custom cape. So make your figure look as good as possible because it's a reflection of your collection. Bars. So yeah, I think that's my 2 cents on this figure. I think it looks great. If it falls in my lap, I'd get it. But I kind of want to wait for in art. But you know, tomorrow's not promised to any of us. So live like YOLO, right? You only live once. All right. Good talks about Batman, Deflator Mouse. Let's move on to the next figure. Okay. Okay. Everybody calm down. Bradley, what's good with you, boss? We talking action figures here, man. You just missed Batman. Now we're talking about the Dark Father, bro. We're talking about the Darth Vader Revenge of the Sith 20th Anniversary Edition, Special Edition announcement. This damn thing. This is why I hate Hot Toys in a way, because they do stuff like this, right? There is a Mount Rushmore of characters that will always get multiple figures a year just because this is what sells. The Mount Rushmore of 1/6 scale figures, right on time. The Mount Rushmore 1/6 figures is as follows. It is Darth Vader. It is Iron Man. It is Batman, and it is Spider-Man. Those are the 4 figures that you will get at least 3 or 4 times a year, rain, sleet, or snow. So this is a big surprise and not really a surprise. This is the Revenge of the Sith specific Darth Vader. And this guy looks absolutely incredible. As you could see, and just initial thoughts and reactions. It comes with the Hayden Christensen freshly burned on Mustafar face. The full table that he's operated on, it goes, no! Comes with the little robot droids. And of course, all things that make Vader. First reactions is, man, I hate this, man. Because it's like, I'm a 1 character collector, man. I just said I would have multiple Obi-Wans, but even I fight against that. I don't want multiple Vaders, man. I don't need multiple Vaders. Like, I separate Anakin Skywalker from Darth Vader. I know they're the same guy, but it's different, right? But that's fine. I can have an Anakin and I can have a Vader, but I don't want 7 Vaders in my collection in different configurations and forms. You know what I mean? Like, I just don't need that, you know? But when they do stuff like this, and they give you this beautiful figure with the table and the iconic moment, and the Emperor Palpatine just came out from Revenge of the Sith, it's like, this is just not fair to the collectors. It's annoying is what it is, but it's beautiful at the same time. We're moving on. This guy is absolutely stupid. This is just a couple things to notice here. This is a thinner frame because this is the Hayden Christian. You know, it's Melissa Joan Hart with all the plates, and she just balancing the plates. Too many plates at the cooks. Too many cooks, yo. Too many Vaders. But it's funny. They act like they are getting new hobbyist every month because there's a Vader for everyone. You know what I'm saying? It's like you're feast or famine with Vader. You can get any Vader you like, and this is up there with all the rest of them. This guy, let's just talk shop. Rolling eyeballs, right? It comes with 2 head sculpts. The Vader classic mask, which is perfectly symmetrical based upon the digital design of the Revenge of the Sith helmet. This comes with the, like I said, freshly burned Anakin Skywalker Hayden Christensen head sculpt that just looks gnarly as hell. Like he just literally put out the fires. It comes with the operation table from the final scene of the film, where Darth Vader is born. It comes with the little robots that he shushes away and operates on them. Feels like it cheapens the market regardless of artistry and detail of the figure. Yes, it floods the market too, this is what I'm saying. It's too much. It's unnecessary, but it is necessary because there's crazies out there who want it all. They want an entire shelf of different versions of Vader. And the sad thing is they're not wrong, because every Vader from every movie is a little bit different to the untrained eye. There's something that's off here. Like this, there's a Vader that has a blue light except for a green light. There's a Vaders that are thicker, that are taller, that are shorter. And people love these little differences and changes. You know what I mean? And they want their collection to reflect that. This is not like an Iron Man armor where they're all kind of different. You know what I'm saying? The Mark 85 is not the Mark II, which is not the Mark I. You know what I'm saying? Those are all different armors. With Vader, it's the little things that Hot Toys has to pay attention to for their community. And there is a guy out there who already has 7 Vaders. Vader 8 is already pre-ordered because he's such a Vader fan. And you can't blame him, because Darth Vader is the most important character in Star Wars. I'm not arguing with your mama. I don't know what to tell you. He is. From episodes 1 through 6, it's Vader. You know what I'm saying? So that's just a truth. Like you said, truth. And they can print money with these because they don't have to do much. It's the same sculpts, kinda. You don't have to change all that much. And you can just keep printing money. They just released an artisan Anakin named Darth Vader last episode. I didn't want to talk about it because I'm all burnt down on Vader, but how do I not talk about this thing? This thing is insane. Facts. Thank you, Bradley. Yes. So it's tough for collectors, and these things aren't cheap. This guy is probably $500-$600 after tariffs, after shipping, after everything. This is like almost $1,000 to have this representation in your collection, and people will pay it. It's just the bottom line. If I didn't have my Vader, I would probably be like, you know? I'd probably be like, you know? Because it looks dope. I mean, what do you want from me, man? He's on the table. Look at him. He's doing the no pose. He's going, and it's like, what do you pair this guy with? Anything you want, Doug. Get you. What's a tariff? We're not getting political on this podcast, but it has to be mentioned because the tariffs affect the collector. And anything that's coming from overseas, which Hot Toys come from, they're made in China. So, you know what I'm saying? Get after collectors. Pay the money. Pay the toll troll. I'm not singing the rest of that song. But all that to say is that if you're watching this and within the sound of my voice, and you want to buy a Vader, you have your run at the table. Whatever Vader you want, there's a representation for it. I have the Kenobi Vader, which is cool because it comes with 2 different head sculpts, both the cracked version and the perfect version. Currently right now he's in the perfect version because I want a perfect Vader. You have a battle damaged Vader. You have Vader's Rogue One through episode 6 at this point. Collect what you love, man. And just know that if you're buying a Vader, it's probably gonna be anywhere between $400 to $500. And that's just the nature of the Vader beast. But the question is, would I buy it? No. I already have a Vader. I don't need another Vader. But do I deny its swag? Do I deny that this is an amazing figure? No, man. This thing is glorious. That's why it makes me so upset. Because I just got this Vader maybe like a year ago, 2 years ago. And I'm like salivating over this one because this is an iconic scene. But also, please be in mind, collectors, that space is a thing too. Vader's a big boy. Vader is probably like 14 inches tall. So factor in his height as well as the width of this table when you are purchasing your figures, because you don't want to get this table and not be able to fit it in your collection. If you have standard shelves like mine, like most collectors have, on your dining room table, wherever you're putting it, just factor in the size, do your research, measure them out, make sure that you're making correct decisions. Because it'd be a shame for you to get it and not use it. But if you're going to get it, you might as well get the extra, just pay the extra money and get the deluxe, because this thing is goated. They released it with the release of Revenge of the Sith. Yes, there was just a 20th anniversary of Revenge of the Sith this year. Yeah, they released it this week, but it's in that kind of 20th anniversary miasma, because they're doing a lot of Star Wars celebration in Japan. So this is right off the heels of that. So this was released last week, but it's kind of tied into the 20th anniversary of Revenge of the Sith. So it's kind of like a, hey, remember this part? Buy the figure type thing. Cool beans. Any questions? Any thoughts, concerns about this beautiful yet futile Darth Vader figure before we move on? Before we escape? No? Sweet. Silence equals compliance. Moving on. Oh, going backwards. My fingers are all jacked up this evening. My brain is all scrambled, ladies and gentlemen. So we talked about this figure in the past. This is the Sam Wilson Captain America in a New Order 1/6 scale figure. This released this week, so this is able for purchase. I'm not going to go into too much detail about this one because I've already discussed it, and my verdict was that I wouldn't get one because I already have a Sam Wilson, which is the more comic book accurate figure. But I did want to mention that it has been released for those who may be interested in purchasing it. So this guy is in the wild. If you do not have a Sam Wilson and you would like this representation on your shelf, honestly, you can get either flavor, the white suit or the blue suit. You know, I'm happy with the Sam Wilson I have because it's closer to the comic book version, and it's from the show Falcon and the Winter Soldier, or Captain America and the Winter Soldier. Just a couple things to point out if you're interested in purchasing this one. It does have the realistic head sculpt of Anthony Mackie, which is an improvement to the one I have, because the one I got has the single head sculpt. This one comes with like 3 different looks if you're looking at the image of the far left hand. So there is more bang for your buck in this figure. Please understand that the wingspan is huge. So just like with the Vader table, measure your display space. Make sure that you have enough space to show off these guys, because some of these can get kind of crazy in regards to how much space they take. Like, I have to keep my Sam Wilson on the top of my display because his wings span out so much that they break the confines of the space. So, and I may repost that in the future. I'm kind of wanting to revamp my Marvel shelf because it's kind of a little stagnant. Yeah, I think this one turned out nice, Bradley. That's why I would recommend it. I wouldn't buy it because I have a Sam Wilson, but I'd highly recommend it if this is a character that you're interested in and you want a Captain America representation in your collection. And everybody knows Cap is my favorite Marvel hero, you know. So I have a couple of Captain America representations in my collection. You can see Steve Rogers back there, and right above him is Sam Wilson. So I'd highly recommend this figure, and even recommend it as a gift. You know what I'm saying? I want to see the wingspan again. It'd be cool if they had die-cast blades. That's the thing, Toots. Definitely the wingspan is huge. Sadly, you can't see it in this camera shot, but it's absolutely gargantuan. The only problem with die-cast blades is that it adds weight to the figure, and you may not be able to put it on a flight stand. Because it's so wide out, it may just make the figure go, wow. You know, even Iron Man figures that are super heavy, they have like reinforced flight poles to kind of keep that figure up. But I think and it would also raise the cost of the figure. So I think the plastic, almost like hardened plastic, works just because like real birds, right? Their bones are hollow so that they can fly and maintain buoyancy in the air. I think having a lighter material for the wings help with posing and help with having that in the air float look. So, I think the one thing I can say about Hot Toys is that their how they structure their figures is really smart. Everything folds into its right place. The clothes fold naturally. The suits look natural. The skin tones, the paint applications, the soft goods. They do a really good job making sure that these things look as realistic as possible. But and other companies like InArt do an even better job at bringing that realism. It's just a matter of compromise, right? I wish that the shield was die-cast. I don't think the shield's die-cast. It's been a while since I've kind of futzed with it and reposed it, but there's certain like things that they just can't go all out on, only because it's just not cost effective, and it may throw off the efficiency of the figure. You know what I mean? But all that to be said, I would not get this because I already have a Sam Wilson that I'm very happy with. But B, if you do not have a Sam Wilson and you're looking for a representation in your collection, this is one to go with. Like I said, both versions are out there in the ether. So if you want to buy the white suit version or this version, they're both good. My Sam Wilson was contender of figure of the year when it came out because it was that damn good. So happy hunting, and I hope you enjoy this figure because I think it's a banger. All right, and now for something completely different. I wanted to talk about something a little bit left of center. I'm gonna start doing this more on the channel. Is talking about figures that aren't necessarily realistic, or Hot Toys, or InArt, or J&D, or whatever. I just want to talk about like other 1/6 scale and 1/12 scale figures that I think were cool and that caught my eye this week. And one is this Lupin III figure that was released by Infinite Statues, or announced by Infinite Statues, also known as Caustic. I think it's Caustic Collectors or Caustic Toys. I have to get that name right, but Infinite Statues is definitely their name. Lupin III, exactly, for our OG anime heads. Pretty dope. Was waiting for the Lupin segment. No one expects Lupin III. Initial thoughts. I like this guy. It's pretty simple. Does it come with a lot? But if you're an OG Lupin III fan, like, of course, this is a no-brainer for people who like this character. And Caustic Concepts, I think is the name of their business, does a hell of a good job on everything they do. They're one of the super higher end, almost like third-party figure makers that are not as big as Hot Toys and not as big as InArt, but they do amazing work in capturing their figures. I like the suit. Yeah, it's tailored well. Caustic Concepts do a very good job. And every time I see anything of theirs, from their Frankensteins to, I think they did a Highlander a couple of weeks ago that looked ridiculous, they always nail it. One thing I can say about them is that they're good on either side of the spectrum. Either it being hyper realistic and like breaking Uncanny Valley, or doing the more anime cartoonish look that is really hard to pull off for companies like a Jazz Inc. that released this animated Batman that I think looks horrible. And even Hot Toys is hit or miss when it comes to their animated tryouts. Look at the Spider-Verse figures that I think are kind of hit or miss. But this guy looks amazing. And just to go a little bit further deeper into it, as I mentioned, he doesn't come with a lot. He doesn't need to. Anybody who watches the show knows Lupin is fine just do it by himself. It comes with one singular head sculpt, a full array of hands, and pretty much just a lot of articulation. This is a moving statue, ladies and gentlemen. That's what a lot of these 1/6 figures are, really, are customizable statues that you can pose and switch out and make it yours and make it customized to your specifications. And I think that's neat. That's one of the things I love about this collecting, is that you can make these figures your own in your collection, and it's not going to look like the next man's or the next man's. I think that's an interesting approach. Yeah, I love the pose variety. That's what got me toots about this collecting thing, is that on any Sunday, any given Sunday, I can go and switch out a pose of my character and it look completely different. It looks completely my own and make it look like and bring life to it. So being able to pose this Lupin with this tailoring, with the different guns and cigarettes and different things like that, and it maintains anime, and it still has the exaggerated features of a animated character and not looking too realistic. I think it's that perfect kind of blend that is so hard to do in figure form, because either it looks like, because this doesn't look like a toy, right? It's so jarring how they hit that, you know what I mean? And the worst thing, a $300-400 figure can look like it's a toy, you know what I mean? And that's all down to the head sculpt, that's down to the tailoring, the body, and most importantly, the posing. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're in this hobby, please take effort into your posing. I promise you it will elevate your figure. I'm not the best poser in the world, you know what I mean? But it's something that needs to be focused on. You have to lock in a pose that you're happy with. It looks natural because it brings so much life to your figure. You know what I mean? It doesn't look as toy-ish. It looks like there's a little human on your shelf if you give it attitude, if you give it like expression, you know what I mean? And the one thing about this figure here is that it oozes expression, you know what I mean? Even with I'm looking at the pose from the bottom right, it just looks so casual. It looks slouched. It looks natural. I love it. I love how they are showing off this figure. And this is one that, just full transparency, I would get, because this is one of those characters that doesn't really need a complimentary figure. I mean, there's tons. You can add any of the Lupin the Third characters that go with them. Fujiko, the samurai dude, the older gentleman. Can't remember the names, but I always remember Fujiko because it's Fujiko. But if they were to make a Fujiko to go with him, that'd be a perfect 1-2 punch on the shelf. And those who know. And those who don't know say, ooh, what's that? Oh, it's Lupin the Third. He's the best. He's the best there is at what he does. What he does is great. So, would I recommend this guy? Yeah. Caustic Concepts does really good work. Would it cost you a pretty penny? It might, because Caustic is usually on the more expensive side. But they do damn good work. And they're a little bit harder to get because I don't think they're licensed in the US. So back to spending a pretty penny on bringing it home if you're in the US. So I highly recommend this one if you're into the OG 80s anime. We just did Astro Boy on MOTN Random Select every other Wednesday. That's our latest event that's going on. We're talking about just the history of anime. And Lupin is up there with Astro Boy and some of the OGs of anime. So if you like it, it's on Sideshow right now. It's up for pre-order, I believe. Cop it. Collect what you love what you collect. Perfect. We're heading into some of our topics that I like to bring up. Other than releases and other than announcements, I always like to bring up a couple of topics based upon some whispers in the community or just some things I find interesting. And one question I would like to ask you, the Nerdiverse, is would you buy 1/6 scale vehicles? Because Jazz Inc., which is really the king of 1/6 scale figure vehicles, has just announced a fully light up 1/6 scale tumbler from Batman Begins. And I just want you to think about that for a second. I think this thing is die-cast. You can fit a full 1/6 scale figure in this bad boy, so it's going to be huge. It's probably going to cost around $1,500 to $2,000 for this guy, being fully realistic, and it's going to take up a lot of space. So this is for very specific collectors, right? I know some collectors that only exclusively buy 1/6 scale vehicles because, yeah, that DeLorean you showed that one episode was cold. I'm saying there's guys who just buy the vehicles because it's such a beautiful thing to have on a shelf if you have the space. But you see, ain't no way. Dude said ain't no way. But if you get one vehicle, then you need to get the whole vehicle collection, and that's the problem. Now you're thinking now you're thinking with portals, Bradley. Because that's the problem, right? Like, it's okay. It's either feast or famine, right? You're either gonna get the one vehicle that you like from a line, right? So let's say you like Batman and you like the Batmobile. The smart man, the smart collector would get the Batmobile from their favorite Batman and call it, right? Like, I would get the 89 Batmobile. I think that's one of the most beautifully interesting vehicles of all time, right? So I personally would get the 89 Batmobile, caught on a night. But you're gonna get that itch, man. What if I get the Tumbler and get a Christian Bale? Or what if I get the Batman Forever and get the Val Kilmer? And then you just start going through this rail of pain, you know? After this, it's the Jurassic Park Jeep, the Adam West Batmobile, the Kit, DeLorean, etc. That's where the Toots, we call that the pain train. Jojo, what's good? We call that the pain train because that's when you're just pretty much putting up a house for these damn cars. And I've seen some crazy collections where the guy has the DeLorean, where the guy the Riddler car, the guy has the DeLorean, the guy has the Ghostbusters, the Ecto-1, which is one I would really want. If I was to get any vehicle, it'd probably be the Ecto-1, dude, from Ghostbusters. But that's a pain train pockets. Hey, here's the thing. It ain't tricking if you got it, right? If you got the money, you're Captain Moneybags, and you just got dough. Get what you want, man. What's going on? What's going on, JoJo? We're just talking anime. But if you happen to be a normal human with normal bills and normal lifestyles that you have to uphold to, you gotta make smart choices. And these things are not cheap. Think about it. Just think about the size reference. Look at that Darth Vader. Now imagine if they did like a 1/6 scale TIE fighter that fit that Vader. It'd be the size of my room. I think it would be huge. But this is what collectors want. They want their vehicles. So my question to you, and I think I've gotten the answer, is no. Would you buy a 1/6 scale vehicle? Me personally, it's gotta be one, right? I can only get the one, right? I gotta pick one. And pick your favorite vehicle of all time. And to me, it's still the 1989 Batmobile would be mine. And that thing alone is probably what? 3 feet long? Like legit? Like to fit a Batman in there? Yeah, no, I don't have space for that, bro. You know what I'm saying? What are you gonna get? Dude, there's a I wish I could show it. There is a 1/6 scale Bat plane that came out like a year or two ago. Wrap your noodle around that. The A-Team van, bro. There's a 1/6 scale Batwing that will fit a Batman in it. And that thing's like the size of your wall. That's just available for you if you would like to collect that. Some people have it literally like, some people have it like jerry-rigged to their walls, like TVs and shit. Like, it's crazy. So, you know what I'm saying? Would I get one? I would just get the one vehicle if I had to collect. If I had a collection room, I don't want to be the vehicle guy because that's just too much like hard work. But like I said, more power to you. But if I was to give you my advice, collect responsibly and pick one for your collection, whatever that may be. And I promise you, whatever vehicle you purchase will have adjacent 1/6 scale figures out there somewhere that you could pair with it. Now, I don't know about the A-Team or the Jurassic Park Jeep. You may have to go the custom route for that. But first, like Batmobiles, you're going to get a Batman for every flavor. I heard they're doing James Bond at some point. And imagine getting like the 1/6 scale Aston Martin. Goated. All right, that was a good topic. Good topic. And last topic for today, is there was an announcement that we're going to be getting the 1/6 scale. Life finds a way. We're getting the 1/6 scale James Gunn Superman figure that's going to be announced pretty soon. And my initial question was, which Superman figures will we get? But I want to back it up a little bit. Because I'm a little worried about this suit. I'm looking at this image, and I'm looking at like the tailoring. I'm looking at the colors, and they're just I don't know, and I kind of need your help with this, Bradley, with Toots, Joe. Does the suit look a little too saturated, or is that just me? It's the yellow. I think the yellow is just a little too saturated. Maybe it's the lighting. It is lit under a warm light, but the suit looks a little saturated to me. I don't know. I'm not hype about this suit. I like the suit. I like the suit in like movie motion. You know, I like the suit in movie motion. But this figure, I don't know. I'm not really thrilled on how this looks right now. Pass. Let the movie breathe first. The thing about it too is that I'm very, very desperate for a Superman. I'm very desperate for a Superman. I want a Superman in my collection so bad. Like, that's the one character that I think will be my other DC character I pick up is Superman. And the problem with me is that I really don't like the Henry Cavill Superman. We just talked about it. I just don't. Overdone color editing attracts the ADHD TikTok gen. You and you're always with the psychops. You know, I feel it. It's nice and bright to catch the eye, but I don't know. I want to say this is a day one because I want to say I'm gonna like this film. I don't know, Toots. Christopher Reeves would like to speak to you. I think Christopher Reeves is the best Superman ever made, and that's kind of not fair to say because he wasn't even the first Superman, but I think Christopher Reeves was the best Superman. And if they were to make a 1/6 scale 2.0 of a Christopher Reeves Superman, please trust and believe I would pick that up with maximum efficiency. I hear that InArt is working on a Christopher Reeves Superman, and I am just waiting. I'm just waiting, gently waiting into the night, because I'm going to get that Superman because I like Superman. He's not my favorite, but I like the idea of Superman. I grew up watching Superman 1, 2, 3, Richard Pryor, Superman Adventures, Justice League Unlimited. Yeah, I like Superman. You know what I'm saying? But it's before my time. I would like a modern Superman that's good. Will this guy be in it? Will this new actor, this new James Gunn Superman be the Superman? Only time will tell. We'll see. But with that said, what figures will we get? And I think history can kind of answer this for us. It really depends on how good this movie does. We got a real deep line from the Deadpool and Wolverine films. We got Deadpool. We got like 2 or 3 Deadpools. We got 2 or 3 Wolverines. We got X-23. We just talked about this. Another line that was recently deep was the Ahsoka line from the Ahsoka series. That series had its detractors, but that series had Baylan Skoll. It had the other female Sith, or Great Jedi, or whatever you want to call her. It had an Ahsoka. It had a Chopper. It had a bunch of people. I think they even came up with an Anakin Skywalker. So, but the cool thing about this film is that everybody's in it. Superman's in it. Crypto. If this Superman doesn't come with a Crypto, I'm not buying it. But the problem is, if it comes with the Crypto, I am buying it. And the Frogurt is also cursed. If this guy comes with the Crypto, the Super Dog with a little cape, it's over, dog. I gotta get Crypto. I am a sucker for 1/6 scale pets. I have Goose up there with Captain Marvel. Really, the only real reason I got my Captain Marvel figure is because Goose came with it. I kind of want Cosmo from Guardians of the Galaxy, but I don't want to go into the Galaxy line. But if this guy comes with Crypto, the Super Dog, it's over. It's getting got. I'm just going to have it in my collection. If I don't want it, I'll sell it. So yeah, it's Mr. Miracle, Lex Luthor. There's a bunch of villains in this film that we have yet to figure out. Hawk Girl, Guy Garner, a Green Lantern. I want a Green Lantern so bad. Come on with the pets. Never, Bradley. I will not have you besmirch the good name of Crypto the Superdog. Ever. So I think this could be a deep line. It just depends on how good the movie does. The Flash was supposed to be a deep line, but that movie bombed because of all of its issues and it just being a bad film. So, and that even still got like 4 or 5 figures. So I think we're going to get like 3 or 4 or 5 figures out of this one. Maybe a couple of versions of Superman, depending on what happens in this movie. I'm hearing rumblings he's getting a alternate suit by the end of it. Maybe a more comic book accurate suit. Or maybe even the black Superman Reborn, you know, solar energy suit where he has 0 powers. I don't know. We'll see. That'll be neat. But I'm really interested to see how this guy turns out. I have my reservations because I'm not a big fan of the color grading on this one. If he comes with a free dog, I fucks with it. That's what I'm saying, Toots. Give me a little Crypto the Super Dog with a little flexible cape. And we in there like swimwear. I needed Hot Toys. I know you know. So do it. It depends on the head sculpt. Is this guy going to be artisan? Is he going to have a head? Is he going to have how is it going to look? You know what I'm saying? So far, none of them come with free dogs. It's few and far apart. Do you consider Grogu a dog? No, it's a child. Okay. I don't know. I'm just not sold on this image. I mean, it looks okay. It doesn't look too flexible to me. The cape looks wired, which is a good thing. But I'm going to go custom cape with this guy anyway. I don't know how I'm going to do that. I've never had to custom cape a Superman before. We'll see, dog. I'm just not too thrilled with this. And maybe it's the lighting. I don't like the lighting on this image. But that being said, that's what I think is going to happen. It sounds like you guys aren't too thrilled, at least between Toots and Bradley, on this Superman. And it's really like a time will tell kind of thing. I kind of have to be in the same boat. I want to be optimistic because I love a good Superman film. But I'm not going to get a, it's AI. There's no way that image is a figure. Garbage. You're probably right, Toots. You're probably right. And with that, we're hitting the 57-minute mark, which is about to hit our hour. And that is the episode. In these last 2 minutes, I like to leave things open. If anyone has any questions, thoughts, concerns, do you want me to go over any other figure again? Look at his luxurious hair. Look at his long, beautiful hair. This has been Figured It Out, episode 10. Obi-Wan the Third. Just some things that are coming up on the channel. Speaking of figures, please check out Tootie Odin's Twitch channel. It's at Tootie_Odin003. She is doing a ongoing Twitch channel called Tootie's Toys, where she is building out her very first model kit, ladies and gentlemen. She's building a 1/12 scale General Grievous, and she's having a ball. It looks like she's having a really good time dipping the proverbial toes into model kit building. And for the collectors who are within the sound of my voice, you know how model kit building can go. It is a labor of love, and I'm happy to see that she's actually doing it. That's a huge excitement point for me. So please check her out. She's going to be live daily starting Monday on twitch.tv. Once again, that is Tootie_Odin003. General Grievous Series 1. She's going to be killing it, which is perfectly on brand with MOTN. You know, this is what we do here. This is the Nerdiverse. We talk about figures. We talk about movies, video games, even sports. We talk about all of it, man. We're just here to cultivate a community of a safe place where anyone from 15 to 50 can talk about the things they love. No judgment, no hate, only vibes. this next week is a free week, so we're not going to have any content on Wednesday, but we will have MOTN live on Friday. That is 6 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. Be there, be square. Myself, Tootie, and Wash will be there to talk about the madness of middle-aged life as big nerds. So please be able to witness that train wreck. We also have sports MOTN Random Select, which will be the week after next. We are reviewing the Scott Pilgrim versus the World and versus Old Boy. I know, right? It's gonna be kind of crazy. So please watch those films if you want to follow along, and watch our episode Wednesday, 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. If you'd like to see which movie wins and goes on to the next round, we will be posting our tournament bracket on Instagram. Please follow us on Instagram, Master Nerdiverse on Instagram. Tootie is doing the Lord's work, managing that channel. So she will be putting up our tournament bracket so you can follow along week for week and be able to see what we're doing. Other than that, I think I've covered everything. It's Saturday night. I'm about to drink me a bunch of water. It's late for this old man. So I'm about to just chill out and have myself a safe weekend. And I recommend you do the same. Be safe out there. Collect what you love. Love what you collect. Shout outs to Tootie, of course. Shout outs to Bradley. And shout outs to the man himself, JoJo, for coming through and keeping me company on a dark and stormy night. I've, of course, been your host, Mike G. And this has been MOTN Figured It Out. Peace.